Hey, good morning. As I'm reading in Genesis this morning, I'm reminded of Lot's slow slide. So Lot is Abraham's nephew, and he left Ur of the Chaldees with Abraham, and God blessed Lot alongside Abraham. But when their wealth had grown to the point that the land could no longer support both of them, they divided and each took a different portion of land. And you can see that beginning, Lot's slide away from God. So we see it first with, in Genesis chapter 13, verse 12, it says, and Lot pitched his tent even as far as Sodom. So we see him going toward Sodom. And then later on in chapter 14, verse 12, it said, and they took Lot captive. Lot, Abraham's brother's son, who dwelt in the land of Sodom. So that's Lot. So he went from just camping near Sodom to being inside the city, so that when raiders came and took nobles, they took him out. And then, as I read this morning in Genesis chapter 19, verse 14, or in verse 1, it says that the two angels came to Sodom in the evening, and Lot was sitting at the gate of Sodom. And that's where the elders and the leaders of the city sat. So he went from being outside of the city to inside the city to being a leader in the city. And now, granted, Lot was part of the reason that God didn't just automatically destroy Sodom and Gomorrah. He wanted to make sure that the righteous were removed from there as Abraham negotiated with God. But we see that he started that slide, and one of the negative effects of that slide I read this morning in chapter 19, verse 14, when he tried to warn his son-in-laws and their families to leave Sodom because God was going to destroy it. It says, but to his son-in-laws, he seemed to be joking. So one of the negative effects of that is he completely lost his testimony. When he tried to warn them that God's wrath was going to fall, they didn't even pay him any mind. They didn't pay heed to what he said because they thought he was just joking. He had lost his testimony. Friends, we got to be careful in our lives where we go, what we associate, how we're known. Not saying that we don't associate with all kinds of people. We're supposed to. We go into all the world and we try to be a witness in all the world. But we got to be careful that the world doesn't consume us as we're trying to witness to the world. Or when we warn them, we may just seem to be as someone who's joking. Anyway, that's my thoughts for today. Love you guys. I hope you have a great day today.